Good morning, Facebook Live. This is Mike George. Also, I could be Santa, just coming back from a busy day or busy night of commuting around the world in a sleigh. No, not really. I'm too in shape to be Santa. Even though I don't understand how Santa can go all the way around the world and back, and still keep that potbelly physique. That takes a special effort. Now, since it is at this wee hour of the morning before sunrise, you are in luck because technically you're just in time for one of our special Facebook After Dark series. Now, one might call this After Dark, or one might call this Before Light. Kind of whatever you decide to call it. Which kind of brings me to a matter, to the topic of perspective. Shoot. I mean, where do I start on this Christmas, huh? Well, first of all, Merry Christmas to you guys. It is the 25th of December on this fine Sunday morning. Christmas Day. Oh, we have a viewer. The one viewer. You are my first Christmas gift. Our one viewer on here that is not identified. Anyways, this is Mike George here coming at you live from Crimson House. And my golly, crimson is such a lovely... The word crimson has a lovely sort of connotation with, I don't know, crimson. I mean, I know crimson... Is crimson actually one of the Christmas colors? I think I'm just thinking of crimson, Christmas, the cr sound. I don't know. I don't know if crimson is actually one of the standard colors of Christmas, or if it's just, of course, red and green are the well-known ones, but crimson is kind of a darker shade of red. And I guess this is a darker shade of Christmas at the moment. Oh, Merry Christmas, Ryan. Thank you. Yes, our one viewer actually talks. I am very thankful for that. Thank you, Ryan. God damn it, if I do these Facebook Lives sometimes and it feels like lonely sometimes because nobody comments. People just like watch and I always just assume in the back of my mind like the worst. I always assume that like the silence sort of implies that that these people watching are just silently judging me and they don't want to make their judgments, verbalized aloud or whatever. That's always like my, of course, me being the cynic that I am, I always jump to the worst assumption. When in fact, it probably is the case that just, you can't think of anything clever to say. I don't know. I certainly can't think of anything too clever to say right now. Shoot, I just woke up and I'm an early riser nowadays. Even though it's been like ages, it seems, since I've since I've had to like wake up early for work or anything like that. Which, mind you, when I was at Clico, I was waking up pretty damn early. Like 6 o'clock was actually like a standard day. God damn, I think the earliest I've had to wake up for Clico was at 3 in the morning. Yeah, 3 in the morning to get to like Slidell from Alexandria, Louisiana. So first of all, let me make sure you guys can hear me. I think, yeah, you guys can hear me, I think. Sometimes like I fuck up the audio when the Bluetooth's connected to this, because then it's trying to pick up my voice from the Bluetooth device, not from the phone. So, all that aside, it seems like everything is working okay. I'm doing so far so good without our trusty twink assistant that doesn't actually exist in this house. So yeah, welcome to the show, guys. Merry Christmas, and like, shoot, thank you. I just, it's kind of funny. Like, I always just assume that like, I've had so many Christmases, it seems, that like I've been alone on, especially recently. And shoot, like, here in Louisiana, here in Alexandria, like, well, my life has been kind of tenuous, we'll say. And it's been really, maybe some of this is just a matter of me crowding out the negative thoughts of my imminent eviction here. But you know what? Like, that's not what this show is about, okay? I'm not interested in doing a little, feeling sorry for Mike George Day here. Not at all. In fact, I feel great. And it's kind of funny to like feel great but still be alone on Christmas, because I realize like how much. Now, mind you, I'm not trying to say that it's a good thing to be alone or a bad thing or anything like that. Like, it is Christmas. Like, if you can and if you do have family, like, God damn it, talk to them, spend time with them. If you have kids, spoil the fuck out of them for a day. Um, I just I've done, man, this particular Christmas I've done a lot of reflection. I've had a lot of time to do a lot of reflection. And something that I've always, in my life, I guess something that I always kind of in the back of my mind kind of resented for a long time was being alone on Christmas. And then the idea of being alone on Christmas. And I couldn't help but, after some thought, I had to kind of ask myself, why is it that being alone on Christmas is seen as like a bad thing? If I really zoom out of, of all the Mariah Carey songs and not all of the, TV commercials that are celebrating togetherness and love and Jesus and all that jazz, like, Christmas is about love, of course, and I don't think anybody can dispute that. Christmas is about giving. I'm not disputing that at all. But, I think there has to be something to be said for Christmas alone. And I think after pandemic, after pandemic kind of taught us about social isolation a bit. And after, I'm very lucky. I'm not in this situation, but, a lot of us lost loved ones to COVID, or even to some like maybe secondary effect of COVID. Just, maybe the hospitals were full and you had, and somebody got hospitalized and didn't make it because they couldn't get treated on, I don't know. So this Christmas is kind of, at first it was hard for me not to look at this Christmas as a dark one. But I always say, God damn it, it can always be worse. And it was, I've had Christmases, believe it or not, that were worse than this. And I'm not saying this, well, I guess at first it was easy, I was telling myself this Christmas sucked. And I was really just kind of depressed about it and kind of just like bitter as fuck about it. But, then I thought about a lot of my friends, especially a lot of my Steubenville friends back home. Steubenville's a big Catholic town, my hometown. It's a big Catholic town. And so, the thing about the Catholic families is that they have huge families. They're all close by. They're all within like maybe 30 minutes of each other. And so I've realized, and it's kind of the same thing in Alexandria. And some of you guys have maybe known through other broadcasts. I see so many uncanny similarities between Alexandria and Steubenville. And this is before I even discovered the existence of this Steubenville South conference that happens in Alexandria, believe it or not. I cannot even make that up. Like, that kind of blew my mind when I first heard about it, because it turns out that I guess Franciscan, maybe some of you guys who are more familiar with the summer conferences, there's big giant gatherings there that they have in the summertime. I know nothing about those. Those are kind of its own little bubble in Steubenville. However, the people of Alexandria do. And like, it turns out that this Steubenville South thing is a sort of affiliate conference that somehow derives from Steubenville, like from the conferences that they had in the summertime, I think, as I understand it. And that kind of blew my mind. Like, there's so many stupid little things that like kind of unite Steubenville and Alexandria, like stupid random shit. Besides me. And so, anyways, I guess on that note, the Catholic, I grew up with a lot of friends in the area that had big family gatherings on Christmas time. I think that's just kind of the standard, that's just sort of the norm. And this year I don't have one. And this is not even the first year that I don't have one. I mean, and I was remembering the worst, if we want to reflect on my worst Christmas ever, it would easily be Christmas 2020. And that was, of course, when I was homeless in Portland. And that Christmas day, I shit you not, I woke up in some dude's car, basically a meth head's car. And God damn it, I remember thinking to myself, man, this has got to be the worst Christmas in my life. Like, easily, without a doubt. Like, not having a place to sleep, not having like family in the area to either help me or like even like see on Christmas. And so it was really, like this is definitely not the worst Christmas I've ever had. And so like kind of having that that benchmark, if you will, to compare things to, kind of helped me get some perspective, And shoot, Yeah, like I'm alone on Christmas this year, and that's okay. Fuck. In fact, like I was thinking about it, and I was like, man, I didn't have to spend any money on presents because I can use the excuse that I'm broke as fuck and like alone. And not that I would encourage being a Grinch and not buying gifts for other people. I mean, you should, and fuck it, don't buy gifts, make gifts if you can. I always think that the homemade gifts are the most interesting ones, hell, anybody can go to Target and buy a toy, and stuff. And to be fair, I haven't been to the toy section in a long time at Target or Walmart or whatever. And I think I was just there a few days ago, like kind of seeing like, oh, what are the kids up to these days? What do the kids get to play with these days? And what's the newest hot toy on the market? Of course, back in my day, back when I was growing up, we had like the Tickle Me Elmos. God damn it, do you guys remember Tickle Me Elmo? Why was that so fucking popular? I mean, I know like it was. I know like I know that we didn't have like robots back then, and we didn't like the sophistication of a lot of these like intelligent toys back then was pretty new. I guess back in that era, I'm thinking of like the late '90s here now when I was 10. But the Tickle Me Elmos were like the big thing on the market. I mean, god damn it, it was impossible to find Tickle Me Elmos. And but now, fuck. I mean, I look around at what the kids are kind of playing with these days, and they have like these like I don't even know what you call them, but they're like they're like skateboards that I don't think they hover proper, but they like are I think they have some sort of gyroscopic element to them to where they stay like perfectly balanced like on their own or something. I don't even know how these things work. Like, fuck, I never really. I mean, this is gonna be calling myself out a little bit, but I'm an engineer. And I still can't tell you how a fucking skip it works, okay? So like, god damn it, if my mind is blown by how these like skateboard things like that sort of self-balance themselves, I guess, like how they work. But the kids have those. The kids have drones. My God, it almost scares me to consider how cheap drones are these days and how easy it is for one to get one. And I'm just waiting for the day where I'm at a concert or something and trying to watch the stage, and I have to deal with like swarms of drones, flying above me, trying to take. Because I already get annoyed when like people are in front of me with their phones recording the whole goddamn concert. Like, if you just wanted to record, if you wanted a recording of the concert, just stay home and watch HBO. Fuck, or or watch whatever channel, whatever's live streaming them. So, anyways, like back to my point of of being alone at Christmas, like. I kind of got comfortable. I think it was just maybe a couple hours ago that I kind of finally told myself, you know what, fuck it, Michael. I'm not gonna be depressed. No, I am not gonna be depressed today about Christmas. I refuse to do that. Like I've had too many other Christmases where I was always comparing myself to like some other family somewhere, one of my other friends or whatever that had this big Christmas gathering they went to, and yada yada yada, And again. I keep saying this, but like, that's not to disparage those types of gatherings. Like, if I get invited to a Christmas party, I'm there. But that's not the point, The point is that like being alone on Christmas is okay, And I think we're gonna have to be okay with that type of scenario because it just seems like between COVID, between the social isolation that caused, between like a lot of just me getting older, all of us getting older, I think we have to get comfortable with those types of with being what it's like to be alone. Now, I want to distinguish first of all. This is a very important. This is kind of a really critical distinction here. I want to distinguish between alone and lonely. Okay, alone is just a state of being. It's the word alone is an objective word, just meaning that you're by yourself. Okay, there's no like really good or bad association, I don't think, with the word alone. Not in the word itself, okay? Now, lonely, on the other hand, is an emotional state. That is an emotional state of feeling, that you're in isolation, that you feel alienated from other people, maybe that you're a pariah, even, that people hate you. I mean, fortunately, I'm not in that situation, I do have, I do live in an awesome neighborhood here for the time being, and I've been lucky that, like, I just. Like my neighbors and friends and stuff around here, like, for someone who just lived here, who just moved here like a year and a half ago, And for as much as I bitch about Alexandria, like in terms of like not having a lot of friends here and stuff, like it's been good to me. Like the friends that I have made, the genuine friends that I have made here have been amazing. And even people that like aren't friends with me or maybe don't feel like they're friends with me because we haven't hung out a lot, like people, I found people to be genuinely nice here, and nice in a way that like, that they show up, and they're there for you. Not nice in the sort of like the tokenizing and like obligatory way, I guess. And when I look at like kind of my family and everything, how scattered we are and how distant everybody seems. Um, First of all, I'm thankful that we have things like this. As much as I bitch about how awful Facebook is, and this, I mean, we all do. But it does allow us to at least like feel moments like this, even as insignificant or as pointless as they are, where like this can happen. Like where I can just, where at least we can feel for a moment like we're together, together in some sort of fashion. Like it doesn't have to be in physically, but we're together. If nothing else, we're together in the fact that we're alone. And so I was just reflecting on that a bit, and on the larger subject of what of being alone, because I'm used to it. I guess I've kind of gotten used to it. I'm an only child. I didn't grow up in a Catholic family. Like I don't know. I just kind of I guess I've just always it was never something that really like bothered me until this is kind of weird to think about, I guess. But like the only I think it was really the being conscientious, being conscious of not having a lot of friends and such. I think that only became a problem for me when it came to like popularity. When it came to like trying to be popular in school. And usually trying to be popular in school usually has some sort of agenda behind it. Usually because and for me it was because I wanted to run for class president, and it was usually some sort of political ambition attached to that. And that kind of, and a lot of that ambition was tied to like, the race, the kind of the rat race to get into a good college, and being able to say that I was class president of so-and-so, or I was president of this organization or whatever. I mean, it seemed like, when I really think about my childhood, I was fine being alone. Like I was alone in elementary school growing up. I mean, and that's not to say that like I didn't have friends, I guess. I mean, I should be careful here because I mean, like I got along great with people in my class, and friendship. Some of the best friendships that I grew up with. I mean, they didn't start until maybe late into my in maybe in like middle school or high school, and so I just kind of I guess I just kind of I'm used to being alone, and as a kid, it didn't bother. I don't think it bothered me too much. I mean, it probably bothered me a little bit for the reasons I might have just said, but I always found some sort of way to occupy myself, and maybe that's kind of why. Oh, shit, I don't know. Maybe that's kind of what explains like a lot of how my mind works, and a lot of my own curiosities and a lot of my own little fascinations. Because in a way, I think a lot of us use those types of things to just. I don't know if I would say distract us from being alone, because they weren't distractions. I mean, some of these things that like just playing in a sandbox by yourself, I guess, or playing, some of the coolest ideas, kind of came from when I had sort of that peace and quiet and space, to really genuinely kind of allow myself the freedom, to sort of conjure up these bizarre and wild and wacky things, and. I think a lot about like, I mean, this kind of reminds me, I was doing a reflective piece about mom the other day. And like, we, God damn it, like there's nothing that our parents, if you're a parent, I feel like no matter how good you think of a parent you are, your kid's always going to kind of hate you a little bit, I think. At least that's kind of how I was with my parents. Because I think about my mom, and I think about like all of the other Asian moms that that are stereotypical, like the mom that kind of carts you around to soccer practice, to like she's like the helicopter parents, and it's so weird because I used to hate my parents for like not doing that, for being relatively hands off of me and for letting me just kind of do whatever the fuck I want. But I used to resent that because because like I don't know. I mean, because I guess well, there's a few reasons. I mean, I was always comparing myself with other kids, I guess, and that's what we do, right? We compare ourselves even now as adults. We compare ourselves with other people, and we look at that person and we say, oh well, fuck. I wish I had that big of a family, or I wish I had this many friends, or I wish like and really like there's nothing wrong with being alone. In fact, I look back on a lot of my a lot of my like I look back on a lot of moments like a good example I'm thinking of is like when we do field trips. I I sucked. I always sucked at doing at group field trips because you like it always frustrated me like the whole dynamic of groupthink always frustrated the fuck out of me. Like nobody could ever decide like where we wanted to go for dinner, and I mean like god damn it, it would take like 30 minutes for a group to decide like where we're gonna go for dinner, where are we gonna go to the club, where are we gonna go to this, where are we gonna get blah blah blah. Like you trying to itinerize yourself like on the spot with a group of people on a group trip is like damn near impossible. If you're wise and you're organizing a group trip, you have an itinerary ahead of time, and that way nobody can fight and argue and bitch about what you do. It's right there on paper, and if you don't like it, you can leave and do something else, And that's what I did. Like, I remember, like, my French... I just think back to my French club trip. And hell, I think even my Thespians trip. Like, two school trips that I went on, the Thespians trip being in New York City, and my French club trip being in Montreal, which was actually my first time ever in Montreal. That was back in 2001. 2001. And funny enough, like that French club trip was like we stayed in the hotel at the Holiday Inn right across from what I later would learn was McGill University, which is where I ended up going to school in my master's. So like, oh my goodness, what a crazy kind of like circle jerk back right to the start kind of in a way. And also the address of that hotel was 420. Sorry, I mean I had to throw that one in there, but yeah, like the concept of being alone, I think, does not get really. It always gets kind of frowned upon, just in the general society, in the general how we regard things. I don't think there's ever been a song written about enjoying being alone. And I was thinking to myself, man, I can't be the only person that feels alone on Christmas, and so therefore, just by that fact alone, I'm not alone, right? I mean, just the fact that there's at least two other losers on here watching this shit at 6 a.m. instead of kissing your wife and kids and shit and getting and opening up Christmas presents, that just goes to show how we're not alone. And so like, it just made me kind of think about like how society pressures us, especially around the holidays, to be with family and stuff. And again, like, I'm not saying that like there's any sort of nefarious plot. By from the advertisers and from the whatever for us, there's no nefarious reason why, it's not like the government is trying to like have us not be alone so that they can cordon us off in a room together and whatever, do some awful thing, sarin gas us or whatever. I mean, I think it's just a tendency, we're human after all, and even the state of being alone is not really truly alone. At least it's very rare that we're ever truly alone. I mean, to be truly alone would be like Sandra Bullock in the movie Gravity when she was drifting off into space, like with nothing tethered to her. I mean, that is truly like alone. Yeah, and it just kind of made me think like, damn, like what's wrong with being alone? Because back to that French club, back to those like the field trips thing I was talking about. I hate group trips. Because, like I said, I just want to do my own thing. I want to explore. I love exploring new places, like, by myself. I mean, actually, now that I think about it, I think nowadays, now that I'm older, my ideal sort of trip would be with one other person. Preferably my husband or boyfriend, partner, whatever. That would be sort of the ideal, because at least then you have somebody to share the experience with and to sort of, like, maybe catch something, pick up on something that you didn't notice and vice versa. And just to kind of have that person to kind of act as it's just a sounding board, if nothing else. So, like, there is sort of an optimum number somewhere in the scenario of a group trip, which I would argue would be 2, maybe 3. Any more than that, and I get ticked off. because then you always end up in a situation where nobody can decide where to go. Somebody's always, somebody runs late or something and holds up the whole group, blah, blah, blah. And it's funny because both of those trips, like I was kind of both of those trips, I remember just losing my shit and finally saying, fuck it all. And I just kind of ran off. Like both of those trips, I like just ran off and did my own thing. Didn't even tell the teacher, didn't even tell the chaperone. I just left because I was like, fuck this shit. I'm leaving. And I got, of course I got in trouble for that. And of course it's not, I wouldn't necessarily promote doing that in a city that you're unfamiliar with and, all that jazz. Like, there is a safety concern behind that, obviously. So one has to exercise a little bit of reasonable judgment there. But God damn it, like if it was almost every time I go on a group trip that I'm the bitch who like just loses it and just leaves the group and does my own thing. I'm a maverick, as Sarah Palin once said. Oh, remember that bitch? Oh, I almost forgot about her for a hot minute. But and it just kind of makes me think like, well, what's really why is it that we feel the need to always be around people on Christmas? Why is that? I mean, I was trying to look at this, because there's the argument, the grass is always greener on the other side argument. Like if you have a lot of friends on Christmas, then you're kind of stressed. You're stressing the fuck out. You're having to run around between like 5 different parties and such. Buying gifts for everybody and doing all this shit. Like it's stressful, and we don't. And yet like we do that to ourselves in a way. I think by sort of this sort of, I guess, obligation that we feel to be around people on Christmas. Like that's, I know, now mind you, like that doesn't, there is a spirit of Christmas. The spirit of Christmas is about giving and about selflessness and about sharing special moments with somebody else. But fuck, I can do that right now. Just go outside and, I'm sure I'll find somebody who also doesn't have a family in the area, and and maybe they need a little bit of love. Maybe we can find a sort of a some sort of reciprocal some sort of reciprocation of that giving spirit without all this obligation and bureaucracy of like trying to organize a party and shit. Well, speaking of organizing parties, I am organizing a sort of an impromptu online board game nights tonight. So and kind of spirit behind that. Because I've been trying to use board game nights for like a couple weeks, or pretty much this month, and this is kind of just like a recurring board game night. I think every other Sunday, and of course this one has happened to fall on Christmas, and I thought about canceling it because I was assuming at first that like well everybody else has got better things to do. They're not going to come to my board game night, but then I was like well shit, maybe somebody will. There has to be somebody who doesn't have anything to do, and maybe they'll come to it. Maybe they'll need the board game night just as much as I do. Maybe who knows? But yeah. Like, goddamn it, I keep wanting to say this phrase, and I stop myself because it's in my head. It just is kind of a cliche. But you are not alone. Brandon, you are not alone. Robert, you are not alone. Who else is on here? Brian, you are not alone. And Ryan, you are not alone either. Like, if nothing else, you have us other losers that are also watching this shit. But the reason I hate that cliche is because I hate that song. I fucking hate that Michael Jackson song, "You Are Not Alone." And I find it so sad that that's the thing that I jump to when I think of the phrase "You Are Not Alone." Because I just hated that song. I don't know why, but it was just I don't know. Maybe because I really am alone and just felt kind of bitter about a song being written about something that I hated at the time. I don't know. But yeah, and like shit. Something that I feared, I guess, and something that I kind of, and one reason I was kind of upset this particular Christmas, just reflecting on it all, was that I'm 36 years old, and like I remember one time, I just remember when I was a kid, I told myself that, God damn it, Michael, like I'm not gonna make the same mistake that like my parents did in terms of like just being I want to have a big family. Like I want to celebrate family. I don't want to like, whereas like my parents just kind of seem like kind of blasé about it, if not just kind of begrudging about it. And shoot, it's okay to be alone. and in fact, being alone is sometimes a good thing. And I do some of my best thinking. I do some of my best writing. Some of my best, back when I was writing music, I used to write some of my best shit when I was alone. And so like that's okay, you know. Yeah, I guess that was kind of the main thing I kind of wanted to say. I don't know what else can be said about that. I mean, that's a pretty simple kind of. I think that's a pretty simple sort of statement, without the need for elaboration or proof. I mean, it's kind of self-proving in a way, self-evident. I mean, and there's no, it's kind of, I just go back to that grass is greener on the other side thing. If you're alone, you wish you had lots of people around you. But if you have lots of people around you already, you wish you were alone. Because it's, and I don't know what the optimum state would be. I don't know, maybe I guess I think when I think about this, in the corporate setting, in the sort of the business setting, they say like, whenever you're organizing a group meeting, that the optimum number of people to have in your meeting is, I think, about 6 or 7 people, because that's a large enough set of people to where you have other opinions, you have diverse opinions. Now, of course, a lot of this depends on who those other 6 people are. You try to capture some diversity into that aspect. Yeah, but obviously you don't want. A meeting by yourself is not really practical either. In a work environment, like you need people to help you, and that's kind of something I struggle with actually as well, is asking for help. But that's a whole different subject. Just the idea of groups and the need to belong to a group. Now, I caution this because now, there is a danger of isolating yourself, and I know people that have isolated themselves, myself included, actually, and, you spend enough time away from all people and you kind of lose your mind a little bit. It's kind of the whole basis behind solitary confinement in a jail, right? and so, like, but at the same time, like, a little bit of alone time is not bad. And even if it just happens to fall on Christmas Day, which is like the day that, just happens to be the day that it's taboo to be alone on, And I understand why, because we want people to come together. We want to celebrate love and shared love. But like, if you don't have somebody to share that love with, that's okay too. What's the old saying from RuPaul? Like, you can't love yourself, or if you can't love yourself, how the fuck are you gonna love somebody else? That whole shtick. Sometimes we need to focus on loving ourselves, and it's those alone times that I think we really get a chance to do that, and to really like reflect sort of candidly on ourselves, and to get away from all the noise. To just kind of sit and bask in the silence a little bit, So I've talked a lot, and I've not even had a first glass of water of the day here, so I'm gonna take advantage of that opportunity of mentioning silence to enjoy the silence for a second and get some more water. Shoot. Now I'll bring you guys with me. I'll bring you guys with me into my messy ass kitchen. Let's see here. I think. This is the perfect time. This is when the sun is starting to come out here. I was hoping for this. I was hoping that I wouldn't miss this. Oof. See if I can get through this house without killing myself here. Look at yes. Oh, girl, we got to put some music on outside. And it's already past. Oh yeah, it's almost 7 o'clock here. So this is definitely a reasonable hour to do that. Now, I should have prepared a Christmas list or a special Christmas song list, but I'm just gonna do my standard wake up song collection. I'm sure my neighbors are sick and tired of it, but I like to think that, by playing that same playlist every day, establishes a sense of normalcy. That comfort feeling, that sort of home feeling, if you will. So it is now 5 till 7. 5 minutes until 7 o'clock a.m. on the 25th of December, 2022. And I feel blessed. I really do. When I really zoom out of my own little life, I know like my life seems like it's a flaming dumpster fire at first, and it probably is in some ways. Shit. I'm on the verge of eviction, and the 6 months that I put into this Crimson Rouge Studios bullshit has proven to be a bust, at least as far as the Alexandria community is concerned.
And like, goddamn it, I've spent so much time like just kind of just kind of marinating in the anger of it all. I just got tired of being angry about it. Fuck it. If Alexander doesn't want me, bye. I mean, if they don't want to support Crimson Rouge Studios, which I just happen to think is a worthwhile, if not maybe unpolished endeavor. Well, so long, suckers. I don't want to be here anyways, so fuck it. No, I'm not really bitter about Alexandria. It's not, but it has been frustrating running Crimson Rouge by myself, though. I mean, there is a practical impact that aloneness has, at least with regards to like work and not having anybody to share the load with you. And no, not sharing that load, you sickos. Or maybe I'm the sicko here. All right, so we start off with let's play our wake up jams. I always feel like Mr. Rogers, like during his little like routine of like, well, I guess there is a Mr. Rogers song in this wake up list. Not to spoil things here. All right, let's see. I gotta get. God damn, I need coffee. Fuck. I knew I forgot to get something from the store. Gorgeous day here in Alexandria. Oh wow, is that frost? That is frost on the grass. Wow. Look at that. This early in the morning, yeah. I feel kind of bad. I left my speaker on last night and like didn't even realize it. And my neighbor was like pissed about the music being loud last night when he was trying to sleep. So that was my bad. Trying to be at a reasonable level here. Otherwise, Santa won't ever. Santa's not gonna. He's gonna skip us here if we don't give him this. Give him some space. Around here. Oh my goodness, look at this. I mean, we didn't get snow, but we got some frost, which is about as white of a Christmas as this area probably gets, I imagine. Let's check on Hoda seems like she's doing well. Oh god, I can't believe I can hear birds and shit out here. That's awesome. Oof. All right, let's see. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna put this over here. I feel like my neighbor's probably been pissed. Rightfully so. Did not know that music was playing so loud last night. I realized I forgot to route my audio through the mixer, so he was getting like the full blast volume out of the speaker, not the attenuated version that would have gone through the mixer. So that was my bad. That was a technical glitch on my part. I don't like to be that douchebag who wakes up the whole neighbor. I like to be the douchebag that wakes up people at this hour in the morning, not at 3 o'clock in the morning. That was not reasonable at all. Oh, goodness. All right, we'll start. We'll start off in this volume level and gradually build. You know, as my old choir director once said, "Never louder than lovely. Never louder than lovely." Oh man, the sun's already. Wow. Yeah, we got the sunrise coming up over here. I love this. Like, I know like this view's kind of like some people may like to live off the highway or off the strip mall, but I love it. Oh, this is perfect song for this moment, the sunrise. Oh, if you could hear it. I mean, let's turn up a little bit. Turn up a little bit. Hopefully not to a point where we piss off the neighbor again. Well, or not. Okay, just kidding. Did my thing die? No. Oh well. Silence means be quiet. All right. Well, let's try. I think I kind of hate the speaker because it has these touch buttons that I always accidentally push. Oh, okay, there we go. There we go. This little contraption I made kind of reminds me of season 4 of Westworld, where they have like those devices that like emit those like really low frequency noises that control people's minds. It's like a mind control device. I'm controlling your minds with the music, which, to be fair, is kind of what it does. That's why I listen to it so much. Controlling my own mind. Good morning, Facebook land, and Merry Christmas. Man, it's a beautiful day. It is a beautiful day here in Alexandria. And it's cold but gorgeous. Cold but gorgeous, like my soul. Oh, and even Wanda here is kind of not on her best, not at her best state. I mean, well, we had the one speaker that's still out of commission here. I cannot get 2 speakers to work on this thing that saved my life. And then now, even further, the structure of the thing has been compromised, which has not happened before. So I have a limp speaker, well, a limp receptacle there on that side. So it's, you know, Wanda's been through a lot, guys. Wanda's been through a lot. Oh, goddamn! I'm kind of just like, oh, thank you, Ryan. Well, I had to do the red and green, obviously, for you know, and I do actually. Red and green are my favorite colors. Like, that's my favorite color combination. Like red and lime green, or crimson and lime green. Oh, I love this fucking song. Wake up, wake up, wake up. Man, I'm just kind of doing like a little panoramic of my house because I'll probably have to be moving out here pretty shortly, and I'm gonna miss this place. Oh, I love this little, like, I have a little collage here of some different like pictures and shit throughout my life. I love this. This is a picture of my friends from a few of my friends from Steubenville. I just love this picture because it. Yes, Bone Thugs. Okay, so like Ryan, true story. This song used to be a very fun, festive song for me, but then well, copyright Karen has struck again, guys. I'm sorry. I think it's because don't tell me Bone Thugs and Harmony called copyright Karen on me. I swear to God, that would be funny though. All right, well, copyright Karen usually means that I have to get off of here pretty soon because that means let's block the rest of the video. So Ryan, you managed to get into the door before copyright Karen struck. So good job, congratulations. So I'll at least wait until after the song to. I'll probably end this video and then just do another one in case you really wanted to stay on for longer, you know. But yeah, shoot. I love these pictures. So that's my Steubenville friends, and there's a couple of my Dayton friends that came to Pittsburgh with me. My mom and dad. I think I have that picture on my Facebook now. And then me and Matt Perry. I love that picture. And then I need to read this actually. This is written by my English professor in Steubenville. Oh, and I got these pictures here. Shit, I forgot about these here. UAB pictures. UAB from Wright State University Activities Board. Oh, I can't really see those. There's a glare. Ah, damn it. Let's see. Can I lock the window? Try to get a good. There we go. God damn, there's so much glare. There we go. Oh. Try to do this without tripping over shit. The first of the month. Wake up, it's the first of the month. Oh God, I'm gonna love this. I'm gonna miss this place. I've been really holding on to this. I've been really holding on to trying to stay in this house, and it's just not tenable. I'm kind of getting to that point where I'm just like, well, yeah, I've kind of, yeah, I gotta move on, man. I'm like, I've been kind of trapping myself in this purgatory of Alexandria. And it's just because it's not because there's a reason. I'm not working here or anything constructive except for trying to do this Crimson House thing, which doesn't seem to be going anywhere here. So I'm you know, it's time to walk away while I still, well, I don't even know if I still have, you know, I think I already waited a little bit too late to walk out of here because I spent all my money, baby, all my money. Why do you think I've been on Facebook Live so much, begging y'all for it? But let me tell you what I'm excited about is some chocolate chip muffins. Holla holla. And my cranberry apple cranberry apple sweet potato casserole thingy. And oh my God, I am just proud of myself, girl, for cooking some good shit lately. Some good holiday shit. Oh shit, I think we've had copyright Karen strike again, so I should get off of here and start another video. All right, well, see you on the next video.